Today's podcast, we're going to be looking at the 10 commandments of a successful tech professional. Let's get right into it. Commandment 1, thou shalt stay up to date with industry trends. Most people, when they get into their tech career, they tend to focus on their specialty because that's the skill that pays their bills. But what good is it for you to have a specialty if there's an impact to your career, specifically whatever you specialized in, and it could be threatening the longevity of that particular niche that you're in? It's important to understand the industry trends because there might be small changes or major changes that might impact your specific specialty. So if you keep a pulse on the tech industry, then you'll be able to make those changes and corrective changes in your own career so that you can adjust, shift, and continue to be successful. Commandment number 2, thou shalt learn soft skills. A lot of people think of soft skills and they tend to put them to the side because, as I mentioned earlier in Commandment 1, when someone has a specialty, they can see the results of that. Hard skills, meaning tech skills, you can see the result of it because it allows you to get opportunities and allows you to keep opportunities. But as your career starts to progress, positions become a lot more dynamic in that they require other skills, such as leadership, such as communication, such as being able to manage a meeting, such as being able to interface with other professionals that's outside of your specialty, learning how to interface with leaders of various industries, understanding the function of interdepartmental organizational politics and how each department works side by side or works alongside one another, or how one indirectly impacts the other. So it's really crucial that you have these soft skills because those are the skills that you may not directly see results from those skills, but you will see dividends from those skills as time goes on. Those without soft skills, they usually shorten their career because as their responsibilities increase, they're not able to be as dynamic as they need to be to adjust, to be able to show that they have credibility and can take responsibility in other areas outside of their specialty. That gets to a point with your specialty, people expect you to know that and be able to do that in your sleep. What they'll do is they'll add more responsibilities because, especially as your salary increases, there's just an expectation that you're able to handle more than your specialty. In the beginning, your specialty is really important, is really vital, especially as a journeyman. But as you start getting to the expert level, then the expectations will rise, and so will the responsibilities and the dynamics of those responsibilities. And soft skills, the soft skills that you learn will allow you to earn or to justify what you earn. Commandment number 3, thou shalt have a working knowledge of numerous tech subject skills. This, if you look at the 5 levels of tech career success, the first level is understand the tech industry. The second level is gain general skills. The third level is specialization. The fourth level is industry contribution or investor. And the fifth level is charity, giving back. Now, commandment number 3 is thou shalt have a working knowledge of numerous tech subject skills. That taps into level 2 of the 5 levels of tech career success. These general skills will allow you, as your career progresses, to be able to troubleshoot complex problems, communicate effectively with other professionals outside of your specialty, gain you credibility, and it will also give you the ability to see things from various different perspectives and make you more valuable to your team, to yourself, to your career, and to the industry as a whole. Moving on. Commandment number 4, thou shalt understand other people's perspective. When we get into the tech industry, depending on our personalities or depending on the soft skills that we've learned or the soft skills that we know, we can become sort of super techie because we know what we know, and we think that based on what we know, that is sufficient for us to deal with other departments, deal with other professionals that may not be in our department, because we're quite confident in what we do, especially as time goes on and we add more experience to our skill set and our specialty. But nonetheless, I would encourage people not to become rigid, because when you become rigid, you're essentially putting a lot of responsibility on yourself, and you're not able to see what other people see. They may see something you don't see. So it would be very important for you to take into consideration what they see, because add what they see to what you see, it may benefit the whole, meaning the whole team, the whole company, the whole organization, or the whole projects, all the project stakeholders, when you consider what other people have to say. Even if it gets to a point where you listen to something and it really wasn't beneficial, nonetheless, you didn't lose anything. Because, I mean, usually when somebody's sharing an opinion, there's not much of an impact unless you're just ready to go to lunch and you're kind of getting frustrated as somebody's being long-winded. But nonetheless, I would say take the time, understand other people's perspectives. It's quite important that you do that. It shows respect, it shows courtesy, it shows humility, and it also adds on to your general skill set, especially if someone from another skill set or specialty is communicating. Then you'll probably get an understanding from a perspective due to nuances. You might have had a general understanding, but they're going to give you a much more specific understanding, which will make you more stronger, especially when you go into other projects. Now, commandment number 5, thou shalt manage thyself. It's really important. First of all, management. Management is essentially directing and controlling resources. It's usually an authority given by someone who is a director or vice president or something like that. But usually there's the engineers, the technicians, engineers, and from the technicians, engineers, there's managers. From the managers, there's senior managers. From senior managers, there's directors. From directors, there's vice presidents, but it could be senior directors. And then there's obviously the president. Now, manage thyself is important because managing means that you're self-managing. That means if you can manage yourself in the beginning of your career, then as you get more mature in your career, what happens is you may decide to become a subject matter expert or some form of individual contributor. If you're a subject matter expert, which we call a SME, or a individual contributor, then what you're doing is you're showing the company that you have the ability to manage your time, your energy, and you also know how to prioritize your outputs. That is very critical and important for young people who are young in their career and people who are seasoned in their career, because it's just valuable that you're able to manage yourself. When you can manage yourself, obviously your supervisors or your managers will be able to trust you. They know that you can accomplish a task. They know when you give your word, you're going to complete it. They know that you're going to validate your work. They know that you're going to be a team player. You're going to work with other people because you're managing yourself. And if you have an target objective, or have tasks associated with projects, then they can have confidence in knowing that you're going to finish what you start, and they don't have to micromanage you. Even if you do have a micromanager, still manage yourself. Don't make it somebody else's responsibility to ensure you understand your scope of work, the time frame things need to get done, and also the impact changes may have on budget, or have on team, or have on the technological environment that you're working in. So take the initiative, manage yourself, so that when things prop up that you're unaware of, then you'll probably have a little bit more insight because you already know what you need to do, and you kind of have a little bit more brain power to think of other aspects of the project. And it just gives you the ability to take on more responsibility, show that you are responsible, and show that you have the capacity and the ability to grow more and be trusted more. Those are the first 5 of the 10 commandments of a successful tech professional. The next video, what I'll do is I'll show you the next 5, which will give you a total of 10. And these are going to be the 10, totally it's going to be the 10 commandments of a successful tech professional. In summary, commandment 1, thou shalt stay up to date with the industry trends. Commandment number 2, thou shalt learn soft skills. Commandment number 3, thou shalt have a working knowledge of numerous tech subject skills. Commandment number 4, thou shalt understand other people's perspective. And commandment number 5, thou shalt manage thyself.